What's up, everyone, on both channels? Today, I'm going to do a little different video than I usually do, but I was inspired by a friend that asked me a few days ago, how do I start a YouTube channel, and how do I get started and stuff like that. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to explain how I started my YouTube channels, and I'm gonna talk about what my goals were when I first started, and what my goals are going into the future of both of my channels, and stuff like that. And I'm just gonna talk about how to get started. I'm gonna talk about finding your own style of doing your own thing on your YouTube channel, or channels in my case. And yeah, so, and if you guys have any questions for me, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. So yeah, but okay, so let's get started. So I'm gonna go back to 2020. So 2020, we were all at home and I got bored. I got bored, so I started to write songs, and every night, every day, I would write a song every single day, right? And one day, I am a man of faith. I am a man of God, right? I believe in God, and I prayed. I prayed to God. I forget what the exact wording of a prayer was, but one of the things that I prayed for was what should I do with my life and stuff like that. And if you want me to do anything with my life, please give me a sign or something like that. And the next, I went to sleep that night, and I had a vision of me standing on a stage, performing for people, inspiring people, no matter what their challenges are, inspiring them, performing for them, rapping for them, singing for them. And then I'm like, how do I do that? How do I do that? So I started to write songs. I started to write 3 songs a day. So I would write one at 5 a.m., one in the middle of the day, and one before I went to bed. And fast forward to 2021, I got inspired again because my college program, even though it was virtual, sometimes they would bring in special speakers to speak to us and stuff like that. And one of the speakers turned out to be a really dope rapper named Calvonix, who has some of the same challenges as I do. And I'm like, okay, I want to start a YouTube channel. And then I told my parents I want to start a YouTube channel. At first, they did believe me because I've always had a pretty decent work ethic. But I would say things like, I want to start a YouTube channel before, when I was younger, and nothing ever came of that, right? And honestly, guys, I wasn't mature enough to have a YouTube channel before I started the YouTube channel, or YouTube channels. And I wasn't mature enough as a kid to have a YouTube channel. I see that now. And I didn't have a work ethic when I was a kid. I had a pretty strong work ethic, but not a strong enough one to start 2 YouTube channels. So, in my opinion, and that's just my assessment of myself. So basically what happened was, my parents were like, yeah, right, he said that before and stuff like that. They were still supportive, but so what I started to do was, on top of me writing the 3 songs a day that I told you about, I was looking up vocal coach videos. I was looking up I was looking up production courses. I was looking up ways to become a YouTuber, and how to become a YouTuber on YouTube. And through that, I discovered masterclass, and I I put I worked my ass off in those classes, man. If you don't know what masterclass is classes, but they're taught by professionals in the industry. So, like for me, and mine was mainly on music and music business, but I was interested in those classes, right? So for me, it was Christina Aguilera teaching you like about the voice, right? Uh, Usher teaching you about stage presence and music marketing. Alicia Keys talking to you about vocal arrangement and like production and stuff like that. Timbaland and and an electronic dance producer that I'm forgetting the name of talking to you about production. Nas talking to you about rap, right? And so through the Christina Aguilera one, I became a vocal nerd. Through the through and it really trained my ear to a certain extent. And then through the Usher one, I I I learned a lot about music marketing and how to market yourself. And then I learned what stage presence was and stuff like that. Through the Alicia Keys one, I learned how to hear certain instruments when they were being played in songs, right? And stuff like that. I basically learned what I learned for vocals with Christina for instruments and instrumentation for what I learned with Alicia Keys. Nas, I learned like uh, I improved my rapping skills that were already there. If you don't know, I've been rapping since I was 8 years old or 7 years old. So, right. And then with Timbaland and the electronic dance producer, it was the same thing. Listening to the production and learning about production and stuff like that. So, along with that, I would be watching vocal coaching videos. I would be watching things like that, and along with that, I would be writing 3 songs a day, right? Um, and and my parents saw that I was taking this very, very, very seriously, and for my 20 was either my 20th or 21st birthday, or no, for my 19th birthday, they bought me the camera that you guys see me use now, and they bought me the microphone, and for Christmas 2 years ago, they bought me a pop blocker and stuff like that. But the only reason why they did that is because I proved to them that I will work to make this a reality. The reason why I tell that story is because, bro, you can start your YouTube channel and just post a video a week, but like for me, what helped me was I I literally, and I still have a lot to learn. Like, I am by no means a vocal expert. I am by no means a production expert. I am by no means a music expert, right? One of the goals that I'm going to talk about later in the video is I want vocal lessons, right? One, because I find vocal technique fun and stuff like that. Two, because it will help me become a better singer. And three, because it will help me open up another avenue to inspire you guys to follow and chase your dreams no matter what um, your challenges are. And so basically what I'm saying is I worked my butt off even before I had the YouTube channel, and I still work my butt off now to or to grow the YouTube channels, right? And stuff like that. And yeah, like and also guys, find your niche. So like for me, so on the Noah Riona's channel, right? I have 5 pillars that I will cover on the Noah Riona's channel: music, advocacy, video games, movies and television, And yeah, I have those 5 pillars, right? But I would say the main pillar of an Ovrionis channel is music. In particular, pop music, hip hop, and R&B. Like those are the three genre. And I've been getting into a little bit of musical theater too. But like those 4 genres are like the main genres that I cover on this channel, right? For music. And then a year ago, I started a country channel because I'm also really into country music. So like for that, I mainly cover um, gospel and country on that channel. So, um, but for me, the reason why I break down like a vocalist the way I do, again, I am not a vocal expert. I do not claim to be a vocal expert. I want a vocal coach, and when I get that vocal coach, I am the rookie. I am the guy that's just gonna soak up everything that they tell me like a sponge. I will ask questions because I think how you learn stuff is by asking questions. Don't never feel bad for asking questions, but I will be soaking stuff up that they tell me like a sponge, right? And working my butt off to become a better singer, right? The reason why I break down the voice the way that I do when I break down a vocalist is because one, I find that stuff very cool. Two, I find that stuff very interesting. And three, that's just the way I've always, like, for the last 6 years, that's the way that I've listened to music. The same thing with rapping, right? I've been rapping for over a decade, right? Like, so I've always found it really cool what Eminem does, what Kendrick does with like lyrics and stuff like that, and songwriting and stuff, because I'm very musical. But like, and I'm glad I'm actually honored if you guys look up to me and you guys want to start your own YouTube channels. But for me, like what I'm trying to say is I do it my own way, right? I review music and anything that I review on both of my channels my own way. Find your own way and find your niche, bro. Like that's what I recommend you do. And what I mean by that is, so if you're not musical, like if you don't care about like how the sauce is made, sort of speak, like if you don't care about like vocal technique, or you don't care about songwriting or stuff like that, I wouldn't recommend the masterclass to you because that's what that stuff is. But if you're just a fan of music, what I would recommend you do is just talk about why you're a fan of that artist, right? Why are you a fan of let's just use Drake for example. Why are you a fan of Drake? Why are you a fan of Sabrina Carpenter? Why are you a fan of Ariana Grande? Right? Not every video has to be super musical. When I talk about an artist, I like getting super musical because I just told you why, right? I'm a vocal nerd. I'm a music nerd, right? I like to find out how the sauce is made, and I built my audience on that, like finding out how the sauce was made. Again, I am not a vocal expert. I am not a rapping expert. Every day I'm learning something new, right? I am not a video game expert. I'm knowledgeable about these things, and I'm very knowledgeable about some of these things, but I'm learning things every single day about how to get better and how to make better content for you guys, and when I get something wrong, that's why I do correction videos, or I leave a correction in the comments when I get something wrong, because right, and stuff like that. And like you gotta find, like, for example, my friend who asked me, he likes going to concerts, right? So talk about why you like going to the specific concert that you're reviewing, right? Like, um, like we'll use one of the concerts that I reviewed recently. Um, I reviewed The Weekend on this channel, right? I reviewed going to The Weekend for the second time on this channel. Um, and because I went to The Weekend in 2016, for those of y'all that don't know, and then 2025 was my second time seeing The Weekend, right? Um, and I reviewed that thing. Kendrick, same thing. I talked about the things that were important to me, that made the concert great to me, right? If you're gonna review a concert or an album or a video game or a movie or a television series or advocate for things that you're passionate about or something like that, do it in your own way. Do the things that are important to you. And also, like, I still study music every day. Like, I still study music. I still watch those vocal coach breakdowns. I like vocal coaches breaking down vocalists. I still watch Behind the Wall. Shout out to Behind the Wall. It's a great interview series that interviews songwriters and producers and people that don't get the credit that they deserve. Let's just put it that way. I still I'm still learning every single day. Like, again, whenever I get vocal lessons, I'm the rookie. I'm just gonna be soaking up things like a sponge and applying them to my voice to make it better, right? And I know that it's not gonna be better in a week. It's gonna take years for my voice to get better. It took years for me to get like as good at rapping as I am. Like, I wasn't doing 8-minute freestyles when I was 8 years old, right? I just did an 8-minute freestyle when like last week, and I wasn't doing 8-minute freestyles when I was 8 years old. Right? I wasn't doing 8-minute freestyles when I was 12 years old. Right? I was still learning, right? And I'm learning every single day. That's what I'm trying to say. And with YouTube, it's the same thing. The first videos that I did, they sucked, right? I'm glad you guys liked them, and I'm very, 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 very grateful for my audiences on both of my channels. But the first few videos I did, they sucked, right? And as my YouTube career has gone on, it's gotten better and better and better and better and better and better and better, right? In my opinion. So, my advice to you would be, don't be afraid to start, right? And to be you, right? To be you. If you want to cover, I don't know, if you want to cover music like me, find the genres that you know the best and cover those genres, right? Like, for me, the main 4 genres of music that I cover are hip hop, R&B, pop, and country, right? I have a country channel for that reason, where I cover country music, right? And on this channel, I cover pop, R&B, and rap the most, and I'm slowly getting into like musical theater, covering that a little bit more, like with the Wicked review that I did and stuff like that, right? But like, for me, when I look up a genre of music, when I'm getting into a genre of music, guys, I want to know everything about that genre of music. I want to know everything about what makes these guys such good singers. I want, but that's me though. If you're a fan of, I don't know, if you're a fan of Drake, and you're not very, like, if you're not like very musical, that's okay. Just talk about why you're a fan of Drake, why you're a fan of Kendrick, why you're a fan of Taylor Swift, why you're a fan of Ariana Grande, right? Like, what I'm trying to say is, I'm glad if you look up to me, but for me, I do me on both of my channels. Like, I do reviews of anything that I do, anything that I decide to review my own way, right? As I've told you guys multiple times on both of my channels, my opinions on things that I advocate for, things that I review, um, and are my opinions and my opinions alone, right? And stuff like that. And yeah, so my biggest advice to any person that wants to start a YouTube channel that may be watching this, find your niche, bro. Find your niche, and also don't be afraid to be yourself, right? Don't don't just be a copycat of people. Be yourself and be show people your gift and show people your greatness and stuff like that, and stuff and do that stuff. And also, ladies and gentlemen, like I take, and I think every YouTuber should take this very, very seriously, right? I take being a role model to all of you guys very, 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 very seriously, because if I'm a role model, I'm honored, right? I'm honored that you guys look up to me. I'm honored that for some of you I'm a role model to you, hopefully. And I'm honored for, and I take being a role model very, very, very seriously, right? And so that would be my advice. Like, know your stuff when you cover it. You will get better as your YouTube career goes on, and keep learning, keep asking questions, keep wanting to expand your knowledge, right? And stuff like that. And yeah, so I hope this video helps you out in some unique, special way. And thank y'all so much for all your support. And I hope you have a great day. If you enjoy this content, I know this is a little different, a little different video from me. Please subscribe, like, and share this video. I would really appreciate it, and it would really help me out. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. And God bless you guys.